All right, everyone. Good day. It is a pleasure to be here amongst you all in this virtual space. My name is Gregory Allen Dendy Jr., and I'm excited to be the host for our conversation, this panel discussion for the Collegiate Black Male Network's fifth Founders Day celebration. I am the Director of National Programs for the Collegiate Black Male Network. Our organization's mission is to increase the persistence and graduation rates of collegiate Black males. Strictly, we are on a mission to see every African American male in college earn a college degree. This week, the Collegiate Black Male Networks is celebrating its fifth Founders Week, and this is a moment to celebrate the work of our two founders, Dr. Daryl Hilton Jr. and Dr. Jamie Inge. Tonight, we are hosting our annual State of the Educated Black Man panel and discussion. This discussion will examine the lives of educated Black men and the relationship between the multitude of identities they may hold, including socially and professionally. So for tonight, in just a few moments, you are about to hear our State of the Educated Black Man discussion with a reflection on kings. This is going to be our Talk with Kings conversation. This year, the theme acknowledges the royal nature of collegiate Black males on their respective campuses. We are having conversations with campus kings, whether they be a mister for a certain organization or for the university. So let's give it up for them. If you know any kings on your campus or in your network, feel free to share this with them so that way they may hear from other people just like them. For our viewers who may not be aware, a campus king is a student ambassador for an organization or the collegiate community. These students are held to a high standard socially, academically, and spiritually, as they are responsible for representing the experiences of male population on their campus. In direct reflection, we have a panel of kings here today who wear their crowns for all to see. Today, we will hear about all their experiences and insight into their crowned experience. Feel free to share this video with your mentees, your friends, your colleagues, and anyone who works towards student success. We are about doing the real work that changes lives. I'm going to grant this space at this time to allow each panelist to introduce themselves. But before I let that happen, I want to inform you, I'm super excited about them because I'm quite familiar with some of them and have learned plenty about others throughout this experience. I can assure you that the work that they do is necessary and it needs to be acknowledged publicly. So feel free to give them their flowers by highlighting them, giving them a shout out, or commenting under this video to celebrate the work that they're doing. At this time, I'm going to grant the space for each panelist to introduce themselves. We can start with Larry, Ryan, Xavier, and Randolph.
Greetings, everyone. I am Larry Clercira. I am the Mr. Edwards University at Edwards University for the 2024-2025 academic year.
Greetings, everyone. I am Ryan Ashe. I am a graduating senior psychology scholar hailing all the way from the beautiful city of Tampa, Florida, and I previously served as Mr. Sophomore for the 2022-2023 academic year, and I also served as Mr. Junior for the 2023-2024 academic year.
Hello, everyone. I'm Xavier Hewitt, a senior accounting major from Prince George's County, Maryland, and I'm currently serving as Mr. National Council of Negro Women for the Morgan State University section for the academic school year of 2024 to 2025.
Greetings, everyone. I am Randolph Smith, a graduating senior multi-platform production major from Baltimore, Maryland, serving as Mr. Symphonia of the Pi Eta chapter of Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia Fraternity of America Incorporated for the 2024-2025 academic school year.
Thank you, Kings. Our panelists this evening are student leaders in their own respective right, while also being some of the best representation of collegiate Black male success. Thank you all again for joining us for our State of the Educated Black Man, a Talk with Kings discussion. We are speaking with Black men who have been successful in their collegiate space and beyond their campus. So to all young Black Kings, make sure you're taking notes and tuning in. And be sure to share this video with your friends, colleagues, and Student Success Department. Let's get started with our questions. First off, Kings, what inspired you to go for such a leadership role on your campus? We can start with Larry, then Ryan, then Xavier, and then Randy.
What inspired me to take this position was truly that I wanted to be a voice for my school. I know a lot of people enjoy being kings, and they were just, it inspired me how much of a voice they were for us. And I believe that one day that myself could take on that position. So I took a lot of notes from them. I seen what they were doing behind the scenes as well. And I felt with all that knowledge, I was able to become that voice.
I can say I think for me, to take on a leadership role at my university, it came from a mixture of wanting to make a positive impact and being drawn to different challenges at my university, and also just wanting to have the ability to make my classmates feel heard. And also, also being inspired by the people around me and having the same passions about hearing my class and also just here in the university as well.
Well, for me, I was approached by members of the organization, and like I wanted to put myself out there, like and get myself out of my shell and experience like what it means to do community service to uplift other people around me and the women on campus and supporting their needs and letting them be heard. So like that's just why this position is so important to me.
This position is important to me because one thing about me, I'm very big on just separating yourself from everybody else, but in a positive manner. So being a part of the organization of Phi Mu Alpha Symphony Fraternity of America Incorporated, it was definitely something that I actually really wanted to do, to not only see what they're about, but also how can they help me through my matriculation of college and so forth. So to be their male representative is not only just an honor, but something to always me just saying giving back, to doing 10 times more for others to follow after me, and of course to spread the love of music throughout the campus of Morgan State University.
Thank you, Kings. One thing I have to say I appreciate hearing from you all was there's a certain level of service that you were committed to, and it's associated with your crown. So I appreciate the service that you do on your campus and throughout your respective areas as well. So we're going to move on to our second question. From your perspective as a campus king, how do we get more Black male students to graduate from college? We can start with Ryan, then Xavier, Randolph, then Larry.
I would say more of mentorship and role models, getting connected with older male students that are in leadership and also getting connected with the alumni as well. And also academic and financial support in needs of having writing workshops, study groups, tailoring to Black men that are struggling in certain classes, um, and also advising mental health and well-being. I can say during both of my reigns, my objectives was very, 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 very heavy on mental health and well-being, because nowadays Black men, their mental health is not really talked about enough. I would say it kind of starts mainly in the household and what the father figure was, and how, we've always been told to put our feelings to the side, or we just kind of have to be quiet about everything that we do, which is kind of unhealthy, because that's how we lash out, or we even go to the possibility of suicide. So I would say that was kind of very, very, very important for me to just to see where how us Black men as being student leaders, how can we pour our knowledge into these young Black men and how they can excel forward.
I like your response, Ryan. And similar to Ryan, also mentorship and also target like towards mental health. Having a support system will allow you to have somebody who can hold you accountable for your actions as well as accountable for your academic journey. And having those things will help you improve your likelihood of graduating also. And that's why mental health is really important to me. And having a support system will really help you push your way through college. And yeah.
So again, amazing answers, everyone. But one thing I can definitely say is just not just only speaking on mentorship and also reconnecting with the alumni, and also highlighting the mental health services that we have, not just only on our campus, but also the state that we may be in. one thing I would definitely say that could definitely help with male graduation rate and also as far as male enrollment is having our students having a mentor that's in the space that they want to be. So having someone in business administration work with somebody that's already in business. If you want to become a musician, work with somebody who's already in the music industry or is already a recording artist. If you want to be a doctor, work with somebody that actually work as either a like a junior level or even a senior level doctor after they got their actual doctorate within their sense of medicine, so on and so forth. The best way to have our students not only stay in college but to graduate is have somebody who's in their field for somewhere to they can look forward to after they finish their academic curriculum. So that's something that I would say to definitely raise college graduation.
Randolph, with that answer, that comes into my strong suit. That's what I believe is the correct answer for this. Leading by example, finding someone you could come off of, knowing someone that is in your field and or has already made it. If you lead onto them and just hear what they have to say, you could one day be like them or if not surpass them. Then you have the opportunity to lead by example, bring people up who have been through the same or if not worse situation than you. They will end up doing the same thing. I find it easy to, see others in the position you want to be in. And I feel like them coming from the same area, it's like a pay it forward. Them being able to pay it forward to you gives you a multitude of people to pay it forward to afterwards. So that will improve the graduation rate within Black men.
Thank you, Kings, for your answers. I am really empowered just to hear some of these conversations. You all have brought up mental health and even the idea of mentorship. And during this time, it is quite essential that we have this, especially for our Collegiate Black males. And so I'm thankful for the work that the Collegiate Black Male Network does, especially for our participants who are granted the opportunity or members of the network who are granted that opportunity to have that type of mentorship for those who desire to excel in whatever field they choose to see it. I think it's one of those things where I often say it is easy for someone to achieve something when they can see it right in front of them because it gives them that level of hope or success that is attainable because you can reach out and grasp it. So I thank y'all for those answers. The next question I'm going to ask you is, as a campus king, how are you addressing the needs of Black men on your campus? We can start with Xavier, then Randolph, Larry, and then Ryan.
Okay, so thank you for that question. So while I'm targeting the needs of men on campus, is also this semester I will be hosting events geared towards men's mental health, allowing them like a barbershop talk or a space where men only event where you can speak openly about our feelings and stuff like that. So there's no room for, oh, that man is particularly sassy or he's weak or whatever. Like allowing men to like just speak upon their feelings that help boost them as a man and help get them through like their days because some people deal with certain things. And also with the National Council of Negro Women, we also do mentorship. So like getting the needs of men, it starts when they're younger to help them develop. So we have mentorship with young students, teaching them how to tie a tie, how to anger management, stress relief, and stuff like that to help them develop. So when it's time for them to be like grown or on their own or men develop into men at college, they have those certain skills to help them continue their matriculation through college.
That was a wonderful answer, Xavier. What I do currently, as far as definitely with like male mentorship around campus, is that I do actually have three mentees specifically that are sophomores that are also in high positions: sophomore class president and sophomore class chief of staff, and the president of Legacy, which is a new dormitory here at Morgan State University. And their names are Daniel Hamill, Mr. Kadon Haddock, and of course, Mr. Denzel Daly. Those three men specifically are ones that I actually just not only mentor, but also help throughout campus. And what they do is they actually be great leaders while they're also serving at Morgan State University. But not just those three men, be inside the Morgan State University choir. I do talk to the young gentleman that's in my section. I also talk to the young gentleman inside the bass section, and so on and so forth. So not only do I spread the love of music, not just throughout my fraternity and myself, I really just nurture those who actually need to be nurtured, and in a way for them to be better than they was from yesterday. Because one thing I realized about mentorship is that it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Being to keep yourself accountable for others to follow you, and also follow those who follow behind you. A legacy is so important, but it's going to be as important when they did the right steps to get where they need to be. So that's what I'm doing right now through my matriculation with mentorship.
That was a good answer, Randolph. On my end, I found myself having to ask myself the same question. So before the school year started, I challenged myself to know as many freshmen as I could coming into welcome week. Then after that, getting back with all the sophomores and juniors I have seen the previous year. Being accessible is a very big key into being a mentor for the Black students on our campus. It will go from, Larry, I need help trying to pay off this balance, and I don't know what to do. Time's coming up short. I know a lot of resources are given my way, so I'm able to hand out those resources back to the students. Larry, I'm not gonna lie, the food's not too good. I can lead you into who to talk to, or show you the way on how we can make something better. Food drives are big. Me and Ryan actually, just came through our dormitory and was giving out food to make sure we were able to be there for our students. Being accessible in any way, shape, or form is going to make that improvement come up.
That was a excellent response, Larry. To add on to what Larry said about us giving back to our students, so I teamed up with the Boys and Girls Club to basically, we'll have a food drive. So we'll have one every other week, which is something that I'm trying to push. I'm trying to push giving out different food, different toiletries out to our students, because it's kind of important, because most of our students don't have access to, go to the store or to get stuff, or they don't have the funds to do it. So with me and Larry, we're trying to come up with this initiative where you guys can come and get your toiletries and your food and everything like that. And also just trying to make sure that we're leading them into the right path, which is kind of very important to me, because I feel like nowadays in Black men, we're kind of being set back to a certain time period that we shouldn't have gone back in. Um, and also just giving them different opportunities that they might not have known, but we have the resources that we can give to them. And when we leave, that they will have the correct resources and the correct networking opportunities as well, ensuring that they can leave, that we can leave with them, that like, we did this, like they taught us how to do this, or we know how to do this. So it's just all about putting a structure on our Black men at our university. So
Thank you, Kings. I have to really express my appreciation for you all. I think it's one of those things where it's just necessary to say how powerful you all are, because people don't realize the work that you're doing on your campus, and you're just as much as a student as you are, the campus ambassador, the campus king. And so it's powerful to hear the work of, one, noticing the issues that Black men are facing on your campus, two, figuring out ways to engage whilst also keeping, or creating that safe space for these Black men to be able to create more conversation, or be able to stay engaged during this time. So I thank you again for that work. This is a really great conversation that we're having, and I want to remind you all who are viewing this to be sure to share it with any office departments or influential actors who are dedicated to collegiate Black male success on your campus. Without your support, these gentlemen would not be here, and so I think it is essential that we continue to share the work that is happening here at the Collegiate Black Male Network. Our next question is one of my favorites, because I want to grant this space for everyone to be able to share, or like give a flower into someone. So with that being said, it is noted that as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. Is there anyone, like a mentor or sponsor, who has assisted you in your journey to success? I want to grant this opportunity for y'all to give them a shout out. We can start with Randolph, then Larry, then Ryan, and then Xavier.
First and foremost, I definitely got to give a shout out to my man God. Definitely got to give a shout out to the Lord Jesus Christ Himself, because without Him, I don't know where I'll be. However, on earth, on earth, um, Jesus will always be on earth. But however, the ones that we see in the flesh, of course, on earth, I definitely have to give it to my dad. My dad definitely plays a really great part in my life. Also got to give it to my grandfather as well. Both of them, unfortunately, one passed away when I was 5 years old, but his legacy still lives on with me and my grandfather. But specifically, a person that I definitely want to reflect and give him his full props, his full gratitude, definitely his all of his flowers. I got to give it to my godfather, Mr. Damon West. Mr. Damon West has been one of the best role models that I can ever ask for to this day. Someone who helped me through college, high school, middle school. When I was 3 years old, he told me to use hot water when to wash my hands. And I've been using hot water ever since. And it was just like his investment in me is something that I can't ever just take for granted. Mind you, he ain't my father, but he's definitely one of the best father figures that I can ever ask for. And granted, I do have an amazing dad, but also have an amazing godfather as well. Someone who kept me grounded, someone who actually, before I even made horrible decisions, I talked to him first. And he was just like, you don't really have to do that. My problems was so difficult. And then after talking to him, it wasn't difficult anymore. It was just more of an understanding. So just having him and having his knowledge, knowing that he always had my back is something that I'm very, very, very grateful for. And I'm definitely, when this goes out to the world and for others to view, I definitely want him to know that I gave him his props, because that is somebody that's every mentor wish they had. And I'm just blessed enough to know that he was in my life as much as he touched a lot of young men, specifically within the city of Baltimore. So I got to give it to Damon West. Thank you.
For me, I like to start off, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Again, just like for Randolph, if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be at as well. After that, it would be my parents for steering me right. They made sure I was focused through every situation, going through good times and bad times. They made sure I knew what the end goal was. All of the coaches that I've, participated in athletics for, they made sure I knew how to find my outlet to get me to where I need to be and use my transferable skills that I used in athletics into my academics and my leadership. Also, my advisor, uh, Mr. Crispin, he has helped me grow into the man that I am, and it's crazy because he seen me coming into college, really not knowing what was expected, and he really just touched me and made sure I was everywhere I should be. And now that I'm the mister, it's really shown that like his growth and care, helped me in a positive way. I'd also like to thank the Collegiate Black Male Network for accepting me into their program. I know it was something new for me, and the mentors here are really, really, meaningful on what they say. So I really appreciate that. Uh, Going to Dr. Holloman as well. I know the communication we've had every time we've talked, it's been nothing but pure intentions. We've grew up on that, and also the friends I've made on campus. They've made sure I was straight, I was okay. For example, Ryan, we always go back and forth on our leadership, always supporting each other no matter what. It's never been a lacking thing, and never been a I'm doing too much for him or he's doing. It's been a real brotherhood on our end. Ryan's been a very big friend of mine, and since the moment I met him. So yeah.
Well, first, I just want to give thanks to God, because I feel like I wouldn't be here if he didn't give me the wisdom and the knowledge that I've known to be in my two positions. And also, I want to give a special shout out to my dad. He has always taught me to always keep my head up, even when things go left. Like, he was like, it's a shirt that he always used to wear. It said no excuses. And I lived by that ever since. So if anything has ever gone wrong, or if anything just I felt like I felt down, like I've always went by that quote, like it's just no excuses. Like you know what you came to do, and you know that in the outcome, like everything's gonna be worth it. And also, I want to give a special shout out to my profile, Darren Evans. He has helped me tremendously from joining Alpha and into becoming the man that I am today. If it wasn't for, you know, him, badgering me about certain stuff, or, you need to get this done, you need to get this done. Like, I feel like none of that would have been if it wasn't for him. And also Dr. Graham, he was our student success and engagement here at Walsh University, but he ended up leaving. I would say he ended up getting me equipped with learning how to take care of myself, and um, learning how to, do a resume, or learning how to dress professionally, coming into student leadership. So, yeah.
Okay. So I firstly, I have to thank God for allowing me to be here, draw a breath, and like enjoy everything I have right now. Secondly, I would like to send my appreciation to my mother and father for giving me the values that I have today and allowing me to be like an amazing person for everybody and just spreading happiness and joy. And I'm gonna give a special gratitude to my dean Demetrius Bird and to all 10 of my line brothers. I'm not about to name all of them because that's dragging it, but I love them. They always keep me accountable, and I'm just let me know when I'm like slacking. They tell me I'm slacking. Like let me know the hard truth when I need it, and it's holding me down. And that's about it for everybody. And I also like to say thank you to the National Council of Negro Women for allowing me to be in this position and to help allow them to help let them allow me to help them in their time of need.
Thank you. It is quite important during the season of life that we're living in that we are doing our best to highlight or showcase or give people their flowers while they're here, because you never know when they're not here. And so I thank you all just for participating in that moment. And I hope and pray that the people who do here will take that as a moment to celebrate themselves or acknowledge you for their gratitude. So I thank y'all for that. Um, Thank you again for joining the Collegiate Black Male Network's annual State of the Educated Black Male Man panel. As we're celebrating our 5th Founders Week, please be sure to engage with us and stay connected throughout the week and beyond. We're on a mission to see every African American male in college earn a college degree. So our final question for the panel discussion is, if you could offer one personal word of advice to any collegiate Black male who may be interested in wearing the crown, what would it be? We can start with Larry, then Ryan, Xavier, then Randolph.
I would have to say lead your legacy unashamed. Once you win your position and take your crown, you're gonna make sure you leave it out there and don't feel like after your reign you miss something. Do everything that you feel like you need to do. And there's people who have done it before you. Take what you've seen from them, make it your own, remix it up a little bit, or if not, come in original. Just make sure once you put the crown down, you left it all out there.
I would say be yourself. I would say during your entire process of becoming a king, people voted for you because they knew you were yourself. And a lot of times when you're becoming into these positions, you often lose yourself in these positions. So don't get too caught up into wearing the crown, because it's more to it than that. It's community service, it's leading your class. So just think of it as being yourself and just leading your class, because they all trusted you. So
Okay, and for me, I would tell him to remove can't from your vocabulary because there's nothing you can't do when you ask for help. Also, I would like to say, if you say you're gonna do something, really do it, because the Women National Council of Negro Women will hold you accountable. They keep receipts, and then just be yourself and do amazing things.
That is a fact. Sorry, I was just really thinking about this question, but the only thing I can definitely say, what especially like my piece of advice had to be do it afraid, do it afraid while do it afraid and be better than the person that came before you. And I say that because it's like when you do it afraid, you're doing it with your will. You're doing it with your willpower. You're just doing it because you're taking that chance for excellence. Do it afraid is where take that risk, but do it where it's going to be a benefit for your organization because you're a servant first. And that is something I definitely want the next king to know. And to piggyback off of Xavier is that I also previously served as Mr. CNW for the 2022-2023 academic school year. And one thing I definitely love about the beautiful lilac ladies of the National Council of Negro Women is that they do keep you accountable. And during my matriculation, I told my previous king, Mr. Mario Hall, for the 2023-2024 academic school year was to always, although I did it young, although I was 20 years old as a king, be better than me. And that is something I could proudly say that he raised the bar. And the bar that he raised is something that Xavier's doing and doing it even better for the next king to even follow. So that was something I would say. Just make sure it's better, make sure it's more recognizable. When I first started, it was myself, Mr. Lilac, and Mr. Black. And now currently we have the Mr. and CNW, and we also have Mr. Lilac and Black. So that just tells me the bar is continuously keep being raised just for other men to follow as well. So that's my one bit of advice. Do it afraid and be better than the person you was before.
Thank you all for that very encouraging word of advice. I am hoping that somebody hears that advice and takes it to raise the standard of the crown or even raise their crown just a bit more. It is essential that we continue to do this work. I want to thank you all for joining us for the Collegiate Black Male Network's annual State of the Educated Black Male panel. As we are celebrating our 5th Founders Week, please be sure to stay engaged with us and stay connected throughout the week and beyond. We are on a mission to see every African American male in college earn a college degree. And I thank you all for this opportunity to just sit amongst you kings. And this has been great. I hope to see what you continue to do on your campus. Congrats to all of those who are graduating. I look forward to seeing the greatness that comes beyond your campus. Y'all have a great evening.